I will start with going through something called professional indemnity insurance, which, in all honesty, is your main exposure as a recruiter. So as a recruitment agency, you could be doing permanent placements, you could be doing temporary contract, you could even be branching into consultancy. And throughout that entire process, you could easily make a mistake. Any kind of error, omission, or negligence in the way that you're engaging with your clients, misadvising the suitability of a candidate, issuing the wrong CV, you can be held accountable.
Now, professional indemnity, as Chloe's just touched on there, simple one. People are on your books, onboarding. So onboarding, you'll be looking at their right to work. If you're placing someone within the IT industry, for instance, you'll be making sure they've got the relevant qualifications. You're checking the references. An example of something going wrong there is you go and supply a contractor with your end client, and lo and behold, they haven't got the experience that's required. The end client then gets a £50,000 £50,000 claim because they have lost that contract. They're going to bring that against you, saying, hold on, you've gone and given us this contractor, not fit for purpose at all. So we would guide you through that process. In that particular instance, if you haven't done your checks right, the claim unfortunately is going to stick with you. If you have done your checks right, then the claim will look to redirect accordingly. But that's just an example of professional indemnity that can happen, and I have had claims like this before in my career at Kingsbridge.
It's really important when talking about what could possibly go wrong to think about your own compliance processes and the way you're engaging with your clients. So by that, quite simply, are you supplying via your own terms of business, or are you signing your client's terms of business? If you're signing your client's terms of business, have you vetted those to see what you're actually signing? Does it contain any contractual liability? If the work that you're supplying is being negligent at the site, are you being held accountable for that? There's lots of stuff around, obviously, I'm sure from the recruitment industry, you know, supervision, direction and control. 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be an issue. They're either responsible for themselves or they'll be under the SDC of the client. So realistically, if a claim were to come to light, that's your out. It'll be redirected, and that's what James would defend on your behalf. Sometimes with end client terms, though, they can add in a clause making you contractually liable, and your basic insurance would not necessarily extend to that. So it is important to speak to a specialist just to make sure it is adequate.